before we first start talking, I want to say, first of all, that being in a rock band, especially being in this rock band, you forget a lot of shit, but you will not forget this fucking night. I'm going to tell you why. This is fucking something magical and special. Last time for Motley Crue to ever play the fucking Garden, man. I'm glad we're all sharing this together. Okay. So I wanted to just take a second and maybe give you a little bit of a history lesson or a life lesson and just back up the story from this moment all the way back to December of 1980, early 1981, and I want to tell you just a little story. Do you mind if I tell you a story about how we all got here? Okay, so to do this, I want everybody to sit down with me. I'll do it too. Let's just sit down. We'll call this story time. I want to speak from my heart to your heart. So, as long as I can remember, I was so fucking tall. I remember people would always say, you know, Nikki, everything happens for a reason. And I just thought to myself, you know, that's fucking bullshit. I think stuff happens in your life because you make a decision and you make shit happen, right? Am I right? Nobody here is anywhere in their life because it just happened for a reason. You guys made a fucking decision. You decided where to live, what kind of car to drive, who to be with, and you also made the decision to come here tonight and see Motley Crue. Thank you for that. So, back to 1980, I was a struggling musician, and I was in a band, and I came from Jerome, Idaho. 4,000 people. All I wanted to do was be in a rock and roll band, so I got in a Greyhound bus, and I went to Hollywood, and I was in a band. So, basically, my dream had come true. I was in a band, I was in Hollywood, California, and for no apparent reason, I made a decision. I looked at my band one night, and I thought, fuck. And I looked at them, and I said, I'm sorry guys, but I quit the band. And at that point in my life, maybe it was a bad decision because you see, I didn't have a job, I didn't have any money, and now I didn't even have a fucking band. And as I was walking home that night, I was thinking to myself, well, now what are you gonna do? And then it popped into my head. I thought, maybe there's 3 other guys in Los Angeles and California that wants to reach into the heart of the music industry and rip that fucking thing out. You know what I mean? I didn't know their names. I didn't know what they looked like, and I didn't even know if they fucking existed. And for no apparent reason, on a Thursday night, I hitched a ride to Hollywood, California, Santa Monica Boulevard, a club called the Starwood. And I walked through the back door, and I remember it just like I'm standing here right now before you guys, and I looked up on that stage, and there he was. He was 17 years old. He was the skinniest motherfucker I ever seen. Long, stringy hair, and he was beating the shit out of those fucking drums. You know who that was? That was and is the one and only Tommy Lee. There he is. What's up, fuckers? So, I went backstage. I don't know if you can call it a backstage, right? It was a fucking, well, we sat in the closet, and I had a rum and coke, and he had 2 beers, and we sat on the floor, and we talked about something. We talked about how much that we loved heavy fucking metal. And we talked about something else that would become the fabric of this band, and that is that we also at the same time loved fucking punk rock. And then there was this. We talked about how much we love these great bands that came before us in the 70s, like Queen and Aerosmith and Black Sabbath, Elton John, David Bowie. It's a long list. And also, this motherfucker, sick guy named Alice Cooper. That's right. So Tommy made a decision right there to quit his band. So me and Tommy set up shop at this girl's house that I was living at. I don't remember her name, I'm sorry. She doesn't really matter in this story anyway. So me and Tommy were writing these songs and we were playing these songs. Too Fast for Love, Public Enemy #1, Starry Eyes, Take Me to the Top, and also Live Wire. But we didn't have a guitar player and we didn't have a singer. So you know what me and Tommy did? We went to 7-Eleven to buy a 6-pack of beer. And I'm really glad that we did, because there was a magazine called The Recycler magazine. It was sitting on the counter. We opened it and it said, guitar player available, loud, rude, and aggressive. Only call me if you're serious. My name is Mick Mars. Sit down, story time is not over. Nick showed up at that house with a gallon of schnapps and a Marshall stack. And we got drunk and we started to make some fucking magic, and we talked about something. We said, you know what? If we can find a lead singer, we don't want to look like anybody else, and we don't want to sound like anybody else, and we sure do not want to act like anybody else. But we didn't know where he was, and Tommy goes, I know a guy, except for he is in another band, and Nick said, let's go check him out, and if he's good, we're going to steal him. So we went back to the Starwood on a Tuesday night. We walked through the door, and there he was. He was on the stage. He had white leather pants on, a white leather jacket, bleached white hair. He was leaning into the microphone singing some Cheap Trick. You know who that was? Right there, Mr. Vince Neil. Okay, so you kind of understand how we got here, except for the last part. If this didn't work out, you guys wouldn't be here right now, and we wouldn't be here. We got $26 together. We went to Burbank, California. We went into a rehearsal space, and we set up shop, and we had one day. If it didn't work, we were going to have to get jobs. We were going to have to do something else. If it didn't work, you guys would probably not be here. I don't know where you guys would be. Maybe you'd be at a Mumford & Sons concert. What do you think? No, okay. So we set up, I handed Vince the lyrics to Livewire, and he looked at those and he goes, I've got this. Mick picked up his guitar, turned up the amps, Tommy jumped behind the drums, I picked up this bass, and that was January 17th, 1981, and Motley Crue was born! I have two things to say. If anybody ever questions your decisions, you should tell them to go fuck themselves and trust your fucking instincts, right? And here's the last thing from me. I swear to God, this is not goodbye, and this is not farewell, because our music is gonna haunt you till the day that you fucking die.